I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, are giving much-needed support to injured warriors and veterans hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Good morning to you. Welcome aboard here on the Rod Eccles Show. It is I, your lovable host, L. Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great grand state of New Hampshire, where the state motto is live free or die. Yes, indeed, it is Friday, March the 25th in the year of our Lord 2016, meaning that it is Freedom Friday. For those of you who are new to the program, and there are bunches and bunches of you, on a weekly basis. Freedom Friday basically is we take things a little bit lighter here on Friday than we do on Monday through Thursday, simply because we're getting ready to slide on into the weekend and celebrate what little freedom we have remaining here in these wonderful United States of America. So come on along, join the ecclesiastites and your fellow liberty lovers and Americans all across the globe as we pursue excellence, some broadcasting excellence here this morning. We'll try to get things and make things absolutely perfectly perfect for you. The call-in number this morning to talk about just about anything on your plate, keep it clean please, is 603-835-3224. Again, the number is 603-835-3224. I know there's a lot of first of all, let me we're going to start off with the Inquirer. Folks, I mean, my Twitter feed and stuff is just full of tweets and retweets of this Ted and his 5 romps or 4 romps with a hooker and a teacher and a coworker. Are you paying attention to your news source? It's the National Enquirer, for crying out loud. Every once in a while, like once every decade, the National Enquirer actually does some real news. I get it, but I would not bet that this is the time that they're actually doing some real news. So, now, if you're gonna want to find some dirt on Ted Cruz, please do not use the National Enquirer as your news source, as your source of record. That's kind of embarrassing. And, this is the same newspaper that says movie stars have babies with aliens and stuff like that. So I'm not so sure that you'd want to utilize it. I know people are turning to just about anything. Cruisers are turning on to sources anywhere if it's negative about Trump. And Trumpsters are turning to sources from just about anywhere if it's negative about Cruz. Look, folks, I don't think that the two candidates really have to worry too much about destroying each other. Their supporters are doing that. You guys got to stop, because you're destroying it. We've got people out there that are talking about the brokered convention, and we're going to get a candidate that isn't even running yet. And look, got some news about Paul Ryan out there. Yes, indeed. What a better way to become president than the way Paul Ryan is going about it. I'm telling you, this is not something you should take lightly, but you guys are too busy attacking each other, and that's pretty much got to stop. Let's stick to the issues here. Trump and Cruz both have their positives and negatives. Neither one of them is perfect. Let's be honest about that, too. If y'all make it sound like your candidate of choice is perfect, then neither one of them are perfect. Trust me on that. Anyway, as we get going here, we got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. We know we're going to get to your phone calls as well this morning. One of the things I find very interesting is all the news coming out of Brussels versus Did you know that the president took 2 planes out of Argentina? Yeah, this is not like it's anything new. Yeah, he took 2 planes. But I wanted to start off here with something that is, well, it's kind of close to my heart, but not really all that close. Some of you who know me out there, there's a few, high school and college classmates and such. That I went to college initially to become a lawyer. And yeah, I got bit with the lawyer bug back in high school. When I realized that I did not have a chance at that particular point in time for a number of different reasons, including having very bad, very poor guidance counselors in high school. Look, kids, if you're a guidance counselor, I'm not going to be sorry for saying this. Kids, do not listen to your guidance counselor. Look, they get things wrong more often than they get things right. At least that is in my experience. I wanted to be a military pilot. Lo and behold, not only did my guidance counselors steer me in the wrong direction for the type of classes that I took, they actively discouraged me. They gave me the wrong classes. I realized I was a military brat. And by the time I got to high school, we re-arrived at my second to last school after everybody had gone through the process of speaking to their middle school guidance counselor about what they should do in high school. And not a single counselor came to me after I moved in and I didn't know anything about that stuff. Not a single one of them came to me. So when I got to high school my freshman year, every single one of my classes were basic remedial classes. Now, my grades, if you're looking at my school records, my grades indicated I should not have been in any remedial class. If you looked at the comments from my teachers throughout my elementary school career, it would have indicated that I should not have been in any remedial class. Now, how do I know this? Because after the first month, and I'm just bored to death and falling asleep in every single class, I get called down to my guidance counselor's office first time. He's like, "Why are you in these classes? Your records indicate you should not be in any of these classes." And I shrugged my shoulders. How the hell am I supposed to know? I'm a high school freshman. So I'm telling you, do not listen to your guidance counselor because they will screw you up. You need to make a plan of what you want to do, of what you think you might want to do, and then look it up of what you need to do. And parents, you need to make sure that you need to be your child's guidance counselor. Now, when I say that, you need to listen to your kid. This isn't about you. I've seen all too many times when parents had the dreams dreams for their child, and their child is going to be this or their child's going to be that. No, that is not up to you to decide what your child's going to do for the rest of their life. You're not going to live your child's life. You're supposed to be there to help them figure out what it is that they want to do and how best to achieve it. Don't tell them that they're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a physicist or a pianist or what have you, and then just load them up. They may not want to, because trust me, history has shown that at least 90% of these types of kids, either they grow up screwed up, or they don't end up doing what you want them to do in the first. Anyway, they're going to drop out and do something totally opposite of what you want. And if you think that they're gonna stick to things because out of respect for you, well, let me tell you something. They don't become the best in their field, that's for sure. And they're often not very happy. So let me ask you, do you want your child to be happy? Or do you want them to be miserable like you? Because mostly when parents are like that, they're miserable. Because they didn't fulfill their dreams. Well, too bad, so sad. It's not your life. It's your child's life. So pay attention to what they want to do. Help them figure it out, because their guidance counselors are going to screw them up. And if you're a guidance counselor out there, I'm not sorry for bringing this up, because I'm not. Look, we've heard so many stories, horror stories about guidance counselors in schools and people talking about their guide, not in a very good way. Sure, there have been people that talk about their guidance counselors in a positive manner, but I've heard many stories where they're not. They're not positive experiences, because guidance counselors don't know you. They don't know your student. They don't know your child. And again, they have these delusions of grandeur, of making somebody. All too often you have guidance counselors that really don't listen to the student. They just say, well, you know what? You want to be a military pilot? Well, you have to have taken, like Algebra 5 by the time you're in a freshman in high school, and you're in remedial math right now. So you don't have any chance. Well, first of all, you don't need to have such advanced math so early. That's one. Two, you guys put me there. I didn't want to be there. I didn't deserve to be there. And they took me out of all the funny thing is, speaking of math, they took me out of all the remedial classes except for one. Something in New York called Regents was supposed to be an advanced classes. I had Regents classes. They took me and put me in Regents level classes, all except for one. Math. I was stuck in remedial math my entire freshman career. My entire freshman year. And my teacher kept saying, "Why are you here?" I'm like, I don't know. This has really put me. I was bored half to death. And I do remember having and this is, again, parents, you have to be active in your kids. It's not up to your teachers. It's really not, because you don't know what your teacher is doing to your kid. I had a geometry teacher up on a first parent-teacher conference. My geometry teacher told my mother that I didn't belong in geometry, that I couldn't possibly do math. And my mother proceeded, who is not one to take things lightly, she proceeded to go upside one side of this geometry teacher and down the other. And then she fully explained, my son has designed no less than 7 model railroad boards. Designed the whole thing. Designed. Not in his head, but on paper. That takes geometry, does it not? Teacher, yes. So, she and that was the first time my mother ever said, because I used to complain about him. And that was the first time my mother ever agreed, yeah, that teacher's a, SOB. First time, actually it was the only time. But it was the first and only time she did not like that man whatsoever. Because, there are other times when you come home and say, your teachers are saying you're not living up to your potential and all that kind of stuff, and you're not doing this, you're not doing that. That's the only one she said, you're right. He's a jerk. But I had to stick it out with that guy the entire year. Yeah, I barely passed it with a C. Now, might I ask a geometry add that geometry is the most illogical, logical stuff on the planet. I mean, one of the things, I know with postulates and theorems, all those, that geometry type of speak, and you have to prove a circle is a circle. Well, it's a circle because it's round. And you have to prove a line is a line. Well, it's a line because it's straight, right? How do you prove? And raise, all that wonderful stuff, and a plane has width and length, but no depth, no thickness. Well, that doesn't exist. It's an impossibility. And a line, of course, just has length because it has no width or depth. Well, it can be as long as it wants. There's no width or depth. What? Yeah, that's a line. All those wonderful and rays. A line has no beginning or end. It's infinite. A ray has a beginning but no end. But again, it has no width or depth. So I mean, it's just that type of stuff. And I know there is some mathematical reality behind that type of stuff. But when you're just using it for regular stuff, regular geometry and figuring out mass and shape and angle, you don't need that kind of crap, really. But anyway, if you like geometry, fine. I'm not putting down geometry. I just thought it was the most logical stuff I've ever encountered. That's probably when I really became fascinated with logic. It was geometry. It was my junior year of high school. Because I had to suffer through remedial math my freshman year. And then Algebra 2. I don't know how I went from remedial math, skipping Algebra 1 to Algebra 2. I'm not a huge math fan, at least I wasn't back then, but I still got a B in Algebra 2, and I had never taken Algebra 1. I don't know how that happened. I said I wanted to take algebra, and I ended up, because what kind of classes do you want to take in your sophomore year? It comes at the end of your freshman year, and they do that every year. And I said, well, I guess I need to take, algebra. And they stuck me in Algebra 2. Well, it was challenging, so maybe they figured because I'd suffered through Algebra 1, Remedial 1 math, that maybe maybe I'd be bored with Algebra 1, I guess. I don't know. But I went from remedial to Algebra 2 to geometry. And no, I stopped there. I did not take trig or calc my senior. I had enough of geometry. I figured if the rest of it was anything, and I didn't need trigonometry to be a pilot anyway. So, but they also screwed me up another way. So by the time of my end of my sophomore year, I'd realized that I was probably not going to reach my dream of being a military pilot. So by then I had found the law, and I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And sure, wouldn't you know it, that guidance counselor tried to talk me out of being a lawyer. You don't want to be a lawyer. You know what? My junior, I had 3 guidance counselors in my high school career. 3. The second guidance counselor I had suggested that all I was capable of was blue-collar work. Just saying. All I was capable of was blue-collar work. That was it. That I'll never forget it. We all have a position in life that we must be resigned to. That is exactly what she said. I'll never forget that. And I'm telling you, parents, these are the type of people that are supposed to be guiding your mind full of mush through their school days. Do not listen to your guidance counselor. Just they will screw you up more often than they will help. And again, if you are a guidance counselor, I suggest you find a different profession. I'm dead serious. I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are. You're not as good as you possibly could be. And you do your students a hell of a lot better if you got out of their way. And maybe they've always been that way. I don't know. I haven't been in high school forever. Speaking of high school forever, that Chechnyan kid. Well, he isn't a kid. There is a Chechnyan man who was arrested a few months ago. He was 23 years old, but he had such a baby face. He changed his name. Used a fake name, but he changed his name, and he had such a baby face that he went back to high school. He went back to high school at the age of 19, started as a freshman. I don't know how he wormed his way back in, but he relived his entire high school career, almost. I think the gig was up in January or February. He was all set to graduate from high school at the age of 23. And he was, I guess he had a girlfriend, high school girlfriend, and he played on some of the high school sports teams. I don't know how they're going to deal with that. I mean, are they going to have to forfeit games and stuff now because he was ineligible to play? But in any case, and he was getting good grades, evidently staying out of trouble. He kept under the radar. I can't remember exactly how he got caught, but he's just been arraigned in court with a host of crimes, including falsifying government documents, his ID, identity theft. Well, he didn't take anybody's ID. He just made up an identity, so I don't know how they're getting him for identity theft. Hey, here he is. He's going back to high school, and he's trying to start his life. I don't know. I guess he was trying to start his life all over. But he was obviously staying out of trouble. He was being a what quote unquote good kid. Yeah. So he got caught, and he was really just trying to hope that he would make it to graduation. He really, 23-year-old pretending to be 17 and getting away with it. It's not the first time. Look, we've had a lot of, we have a lot of TV and movie stars that are in their 20s playing teenagers. And they often go back quite far. Remember 90210? Well, they were all playing, when they started, they were playing, basically freshman and sophomore in high school. And they were all, I think the youngest at the time was like 19. And they were all playing, I think it was 19. And they were all in their 20s playing teenagers. So it's not the first time that people have done stuff like this. It happens. There are people that look young, that have baby faces when they're in their 20s. Alex P. Keaton. He was, Michael J. Fox was in his early 20s when he got the role on Family Ties, playing Alex Keaton as a high schooler. And for the longest time, he had the baby face thing. Of recent, if you've seen him lately, then he no longer has that baby face, but you can see where he could have had it. Still, I mean, he still looks like Michael J. Fox of old, but just a lot older. And it has nothing to do with his. I'm not making fun of him because of his Parkinson's disease. He was a very young-looking Canuck. Yeah, Michael J. Fox is Canadian, by the way. I know, and some of you are saying, yeah, so is one of our presidential contenders, Cruz. There are a lot of people that do believe that. And you know what? It doesn't matter. That people are going to believe what they want to believe about. It doesn't, some of the reasons behind the Cruz thing, they just, what they don't realize is they've eliminated the possibility of probably, 3/4 of this country being president. And that was not the intent of our founders and the Constitution, by the way. They have to justify it somehow, I guess. Their hatred and anger for Cruz. They have to justify it. Anyway, we do have a lot more to cover, and we will get to it as soon as we get back. Hold on, folks. You're listening to me, your lovable host, Rod, here on the Rod Eccles Show.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Zero 835-3224 is the number to call should you wish to join me here on the Rod Eccles Show. Welcome back, one and all. This is the weekend I do. This is the Batman v Superman opening weekend, if I'm not mistaken. And all eyes are going to be on the theaters for the oh, good grief, Ben Affleck. I almost forgot his name. I told you I wasn't a fan of his. The Ben Affleck flick. Was it Henry Cavill? Is that how you pronounce his last name? Yeah, he's like an also-ran. He's Superman, for crying out loud. And this has been turned into a Ben Affleck movie somehow. I wouldn't, if I were Henry, I wouldn't be all that happy about that. But, hey, he's playing, and, well, although I was never really all that happy that they chose Henry to be Superman in the first place. He's a Brit, for crying out loud. That's like that's like getting an American to be James Bond. Seriously. And I know we've already had a Brit play an American iconic superhero with ill-tempered Christian Bale as Batman, who's also a Brit, by the way, for those of you who don't know. And playing again, that's like asking an American. You know who'd make a good James Bond? I know some people are going to probably laugh. Well, hey, if they're going to get Brits to play iconic American superheroes that are equivalent to James Bond, they might as well get an American to play James Bond. George Clooney, I think, would be a wonderful James Bond. They should get George. They could dye his hair. It doesn't have to be all gray. I know he's grayed out, but they could dye it. He'd be a good James Bond. Why not? That kind of thing. But anyway, so all eyes will be on Batman v Superman. As I've said, the previews have me thinking it's not going to be all that good. I'm not interested in spending my $15 on per ticket to go to the theater to see Batman. And I read, it's a $400 million flick, and I was reading this morning that it's going to take somewhere between $700 and $800 million just to break even. I don't know how they come up with these numbers for movies, but that's what they're saying. So it's gotta be a huge blockbuster, and frankly, I don't see it as. You never know what people are going to go watch and what people are going to like and go see. But from the previews, I don't see it. I don't. And look, I know there's been a lot of movies. I'm not very good at judging movies because you never know what idiocy people are going to find. Entertaining that they're willing to spend their money on to go see. And it's hit or miss it really is hit or miss with movies. So if you want to see it, I guess it opens this weekend. I will not be in the lines at the theater to get in to see Batman v Superman. I even said it before when I first learned that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman. I said it's going to suck. I'm not, and maybe I'm biased because I said it was going to suck right off the bat because I'm not a Ben Affleck fan, but and look, I'm just going by what he did in another superhero movie. He destroyed Daredevil. There is not going to be another Daredevil movie. He destroyed Daredevil, which is why it's on Netflix instead. Yeah, I realized Daredevil was some time ago, and the actor who's playing Daredevil now was too young back then to be Daredevil, but I got to tell you, I like the series a lot better on Netflix than I like the movie with Ben Affleck. Just saying. And I might watch it on DVD or something, Batman, just to see Wonder Woman. I've seen some stills of Wonder Woman. She's looking rather Wonder Womanish. Is that a word, womanish? Wonder Womanish? So, guys will understand what I'm saying. You ladies probably don't. You think I'm crazy, but guys will understand what I'm saying about Wonder Woman. Speaking of Wonder Woman, I was, surprise, I was talking about one of my female lead faves earlier this week, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and saying that I haven't seen her in a while. And lo and behold, there is a picture spread of her over on the dailymail.co.uk. She's 46 years old, and she was taking a vacation with her hubby Michael Douglas, 71. Now, Michael Douglas, he looks like he's in decent shape, especially for a 71-year-old man, but Catherine Zeta-Jones is looking absolutely fantastically gorgeous. You can't deny it. Just saying. Yes, I'm a red-blooded American man. I'm sorry. I appreciate beauty. Be mad at me if you want, but I happen to appreciate it. But she's looking rather wonderful at the age of 46. She really is. But that isn't the reason why I was.
Why are more and more businesses coming to On Deck for a business loan?
The bank we've been with for years denied us. I called On Deck on a Saturday morning.
And it's Good Friday, by the way. And the reason why I say that is, sometimes if you're a good person, sometimes God will reward you in wondrous ways, and I think that was a way of God was rewarding me for me being good this week. I think I was fairly good. I think it was fairly good. But we'll get into the Good Friday stuff a little bit later. But what I wanted to bring you was a California law graduate who was at the top of her class when she graduated. Loses a lawsuit against her former school. And she sued her former alma mater over her failure to find a law job. Now, hold on, folks. Hold on. Hold on. I'm like, when I saw this come across my newsfeed, I'm like, what? Are you? No. This is not. There's a hook on this, right? There's a hook to this. This is not the story. I'm going to get there. I'm going to click on this on this and get there, and the story is going to be totally different from the headline. No, not at all. In fact, it gets even more absurd. Anna Alaburda, Alaburda, who happens to be 37, sued the Thomas Jefferson School of Law after failing to get a job as a lawyer. Now, she was. Now, this school happens to be in San Diego, as in San Diego, California. She was demanding $125,000 in damages, but jury ruled against her. Now, the law graduate claimed the school lured her in with inflated employment figures. The school, of course, defended itself, saying it is not, Trump University. That was their basic defense. See, I told you there was more to it. They didn't change it. There was just more to it, to the story than the headline. Now, Miss Alaburda rejected a low-paying law job of $60,000 shortly after graduating, and then went on to be rejected by 150 law firms. So, now she's not a millennial, but she's acting like one. She goes to law school, Thomas Jefferson School of Law in San Diego. She gets offered a job, paying her $60,000. Now, folks, she got rejected by 150 law firms, and the reason why she's suing is because she got rejected by 150 law firms over a 10-year period. She graduated over a decade ago. That's the main part of the story. She graduated at the top of her class 10 years ago. Class of 2005-2006. And so she turns down a $60,000 a year job, evidently because she thought she was worth more. Other law firms didn't want her. 150 of them over a 10-year period. So she goes to sue her alma mater because she couldn't get a job. Well, that's not actually true. She had a job offer. She just turned it down. Now she's now 37, and she can't find a full-time job practicing law. Now she kind of, she kind of looks, I don't know if I should probably say it this way, but let me give you a picture of her. She kind of looks like Kirsten, everybody knows who Kirsten Dunst is. She kind of looks like Kirsten Dunst's younger, homelier sister. Think of Kirsten Dunst having a younger sister, not as pretty as Kirsten Dunst. And that's kind of, to me, what she looks like. And I'm sorry, but that's the first thing that came to mind when I saw the picture of her. She kind of looks like Kirsten Dunst's younger sister, but not as pretty. To me, that's what she looks like. But she sued the school for $125,000 in damages, claiming she was lured into paying her tuition by inflated employment stats. Now, yesterday, the lawsuit was dismissed by a jury in California. You would think California would, be on her side, I guess, the people. But if a jury in California dismisses your suit, they must really think you don't have a case at all. Now, after she graduated, she went on to pass the state bar exam and set out to use the law degree that cost her about $150,000, according to New York Times. She was offered a job after she graduated with a law firm that was willing to give her a $60,000 salary, but she turned it down. Now, the former law student said she received only one job offer, which was less favorable than law-related jobs that were available. Even after she sent her resume to more than 100. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. She's acting like a millennial, and she's 37 years old. Now, granted, she was, 26, 27 when she was probably offered this job, but her reasoning was because the $60,000 job offer back in 2006-ish was less favorable than non-law related. Oh, no, you don't understand. I'm a lawyer now. I'm a law graduate. $60,000. Pish. Look, this is what they do all over the place when it comes to colleges. They tell you to get these college degrees, and they inflate these college degrees to such a, and then these kids can't find jobs. Because they're not available, or the college degree itself is pretty worthless. Or both. And these kids are they're expecting too much. Oh yeah, I know. I'm going to get this 4 or 6 year degree, and man, I'm going to make $100,000 a year or more. And they get out of school, they find that that's not the reality. The reality is that the job that they're looking for is only for people with at least some experience. And these kids have, because most of these kids going to college today, they have no work experience whatsoever, let alone experience in their field. I mean, look, because they don't even want to go to work. They don't even want to go to work at McDonald's anymore. I mean, that's beneath these kids today. If they can't get a cushy job in the mall, let's say, Abercrombie and Fitch, which, by the way, Abercrombie and Fitch has been chastised and sued numerous times for not hiring so-called quote unquote ugly people. And speaking of A&F, their former, not founder, but their former CEO who took over, Abercrombie and Fitch used to be a men's haberdashery store. It was in a few malls, but it was a men's clothing store. In fact, back in the 80s, you could go into an Abercrombie and Fitch and buy hats, men's hats, suits, old British style. They were, they look kind of British style. You could buy flannel shirts and all that kind of stuff. But the suits and hats and male scarves, and pocket squares, they were British styling. It was kind of a poshy, older guy's store. And then it was bought out, and it was completely and totally revamped into the semi-trashy store that it is today. And it was done, and it was made that way by I forget his name, but over the years he was quoted as saying that his clothing at A&F was not for everybody. That it was only for the pretty kids, and it was only for the skinny people. They didn't make extra large stuff. If you were 2 tons of fun, you couldn't fit into A&F clothing. They didn't make your size. And they were known for, not hiring. If you ever walked into an A&F store, the people behind the counters, they were young, teens and 20s, and they were all model-esque looking. They were all, I remember going into I never really shopped at A&F. I do remember going in there a few times. One thing I did like at Abercrombie & Fitch was their men's cologne, Fierce, I think it was called. I'm not a big cologne fan, but I've always loved that scent. Just like I used to love Polo, the scent of Polo. Yeah, I had expensive taste, but I walked in there a couple of times just to, because of the Fierce, and I didn't. The ladies that worked there, they were all kind of pretty. No, they weren't really ladies yet. They're, girls, college girls. And gotta say, the guys they kind of looked like some of the models that they were, on the walls. The pictures of the models that was the guys. Now, they weren't walking around with their shirts off, thank God. But that's what they kind of look like. And their former CEO, he got run out on a rail, I guess, because he was just too politically incorrect about what he was saying that his brand was all about. And God forbid you actually tell the truth. Kids were flying. Some of their clothing was outright ridiculously, $100 for a pair of jeans with holes in them? Really? And we're talking in the early 2000s here. Late 90s. $100 for jeans. Well, so, they made tons and tons of money. Then fashion styles changed a little bit, and they started to dip. And since they got rid of their that controversial CEO, I don't think A&F has been doing quite as well as they did before. They've opened up things a little bit, and their brand is less snooty, I guess now. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I was in a mall, to tell you the truth. It's been well over a year. I don't like going to malls. That's just me. I don't like going to them. I don't particularly like malls. Does that make me anti-American, not liking malls? But anyway, so this poor, wonderful graduate, Alberta, she had her lawsuit dismissed simply because she did not want to take a $60,000 a year startup job. She didn't want to start at the bottom because she went to Thomas. I don't know. Is Thomas More College in San Diego School of Law, is that a really prestigious law school? Or excuse me, Thomas Jefferson School of Law. Is that a really prestigious? In San Diego, I don't recall ever hearing of that law school. I don't know. Now she said she received only one job offer and then sent her resume and information to more than 150 law firms. Nothing, nada. Now she claimed Thomas Jefferson School of Law inflated its employment data for its graduates to encourage students to enroll. Now, Miss Alberta filed a lawsuit in 2011 arguing that she would not have enrolled at Thomas Jefferson if she had known the law school statistics, in her opinion, were misleading. Miss Alberta, who had a debt of about $170,000, has worked in various part-time positions, mostly temporary jobs, reviewing documents for law firms since graduating. I guess that $60,000 starting salary doesn't seem to be so bad now, does it? Maybe she should go back to that law firm that originally offered her a position that she turned down. And just, go back, say, please, give me a chance. I'll be really, really good. That sounds more like Zoolander. By the way, Zoolander, when is that one come? I'm looking forward to the Zoolander sequel. Or did that already come out and I missed it? I don't pay, I know this show is partly about pop culture, but I don't watch a lot of TV, so I miss all the commercials for this stuff. And you don't need to watch TV in order to get the flavor of the pop culture culture in this country. But Zoolander is this summer, right? I think it's this. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that one. I'll probably spend my $15 to go see that one at the theater, as they say. Now, Michael Sullivan, an attorney for the law school, acknowledged isolated mistakes and clerical errors in data collection, but said there was no evidence that the school lied. Oh yeah, hey, we kind of mistaken, we mistook the data, and then we took that mistaken data and we promoted it to get kids to come, but we didn't lie. I guess they're redefining what a lie is, are they not? I'm sorry. Hey, look, and then he goes on to say that Michael Sullivan goes on to say, "Hey, this is not Trump University. It's so not that. It's such a really excellent law school. I didn't know Trump University was giving out law degrees. I'm sorry. Look, folks, I did say that this was Freedom Friday, right? We keep it a little bit lighter, but that's probably going to make it. If you're a Trumpster, that should make you laugh. Really, should make you. If you're a Trumpster, that statement should make you laugh. If you're a cruiser, that statement should. It doesn't matter who you. The only people that shouldn't be laughing are Hillary Clinton fans. Yeah. For obvious reasons, but we're not going to get into that. It's not, because I'll go out, get off on a tangent on Hillary. Trust me, it's not a good thing. And speaking of not a good thing, you had better check your stash of old movies. Yes. Check your stash of old movies. Remember those wonderful places called video stores? Yeah, remember those? Like Blockbuster and Hollywood and your local mom and pop video store. Yeah. Well, most of them, like probably 99% of them, no longer exist now. Really, that's an industry that came in 20 or 30 years, and that's all the life it had. Is there any place that is a video store now? Even places that didn't do videos as their mainstay, I don't see them renting videotapes. But in any case, from People Magazine, this is why you need to check your stash of old VHS and possibly beta tapes. A man in North Carolina is arrested for allegedly failing to return a VHS tape that he rented in 2001. I kid you not. He failed to return a VHS tape that he rented nearly 15 years ago. On Tuesday, James Mayer, 37, was pulled over by police as he was taking his daughter to school, according to court documents. Officers ran his license and learned an active warrant had been issued for his arrest for failing to return a VHS tape. Oh boy. We got more on this one when we get back from break.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel.
800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. 800-393-5756. That's 800-393-5756.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge. Welcome back, my fellow Americans. It is I. Can I say something? I really like that intro. Not because it mentions my name. I mean, that adds to the wonderment of it, obviously. But just because I just love the drums and the bass. I think it's just cool. I enjoy stuff. Yeah, sometimes I'm easily entertained. I can't help it. Aren't we all? We like, we all have our little quirks. And on Fridays, like today is Friday, Freedom Friday, we try to bring out those little quirks in all of us. What easily entertains us. We go a little bit lighter on Fridays than we do Monday through Thursday. And today is, by the way, Friday, March the 25th in the year of our Lord, 2016. The call-in number is 603-835-3224. Again, that's 603-835-3224. And you can be on the air live with me as I broadcast live from my bunkerized studio somewhere within the great grand estate of New Hampshire. Love this state. The state that has the motto of, very clearly, very short and concise, live free or die. It is not big government or bust. Just thought I'd let you know. Because, we like to go into our weekends on a happy note, and we try to go a little bit lighter in order to celebrate our freedom, or what little bit we have left, even as we have terrorists out there trying to we like to argue sometimes that our government is trying to take away our freedom, but actually it's kind of like the terrorists are. The Islamists are succeeding in us responding in a manner that takes away more and more of our freedom. And it's gotten to the point now where we have people in this country that think maybe it's time, that literally think that it is time to change the First Amendment to the Constitution. That only certain kinds of speech should be allowed. And look, this is partly due to the fact that there are a lot of people out there that, they don't like Islam, they don't like for whatever it is that they don't like, but now they're being told that they're being racist and bigoted and homophobic and all that kind of stuff, and that only certain kinds of speech now should be allowed. The kind of speech that doesn't offend anybody. Which I don't know if there is such a thing. I am sure that Andy Griffith probably offended people. Seriously. I'm pretty sure that he did. In any case, we do have a special caller calling in at the moment, so we are going to go ahead and try to bring this wonderful person on. And for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, obviously, her name is Debbie Dooley. And she is on the line right now. Debbie, do I have you? Oh, hold on. Hello, Debbie, do I have you?
Yes, how are you doing today?
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
It is, I was Laura was telling me that you wanted to come in and express some of your feelings about what's going on lately, and so I said, she sounds like she has an interesting story, so I'm going to let you tell your story.
Well, I am one of I've been a lifelong Republican. I've been active fighting for conservative values since 1976. I've always been a Republican activist. I am one of the 22 people that co-founded the National Tea Party movement that began in February of 2009. I have actually served in a volunteer capacity for Freedom Works in Georgia. I have been on the board of directors of Tea Party Patriots since October of 2009. I was one of the organizers and featured speakers at the big 9/12/2009 March on D.C. So I'm very much a conservative activist, and I don't need a conservative elitist to define what is conservative for me and who I should support for president. And, I support Donald Trump. I have fought for elected officials, for candidates that claim, we're going to fight for conservative values. And the minute they go to Washington, D.C., they drink the poisonous Potomac Kool-Aid and are co-opted by the K Street lobbyists and special interests and their donors, and they forget about their campaign promises. I truly believe that Donald Trump will represent the interest of Main Street, not Wall Street. He will fight for American jobs. He will fight for fair trade agreements. And I think that he is the catalyst that will help us reclaim our country back from the special interests that control it now. And one of the biggest differences, people ask me all the time, the differences between Cruz supporters and Trump supporters. Cruz supporters, believe it or not, is part of the corrupt system. Just look at all the super PAC money, look at all the donors and super PACs that he's had. He's part of the system. You can't really have meaningful reforms to the system that you're part of. And Cruz supporters want to reform the system. Donald Trump is not accepting donations. He does not have aligned super PACs. Trump supporters want to totally blow the system up and have really meaningful reforms, and that's the big difference.
Now, you said that you were one of 22 people that started the Tea Party?
Yeah, the National Tea Party movement in February of 2009. We heard Rick Santelli's rant on the Chicago trading floor, and we organized a conference call to plan the Tea Party movement. And there were 22 of us nationally on that conference call. That's how I met Jenny Beth Martin. Jenny Beth Martin and Amy Kramer and I were from the Atlanta area, and we met on that call. And we planned the first round of tea parties that took place on February 27th of 2009. And then after that, we planned, the Tax Day Tea Party, and the movement took off from there. And it's more powerful than it has ever been. The big difference is that we're no longer having big rallies. Most of the Tea Party activists are also focused on local issues, on, the different pieces of legislation that comes out of their different states, the state legislature. So a lot of the activists are also focusing on local levels and running for office.
Yeah, well, all politics is local. That's what Tip O'Neill once said. That's pretty true.
Oh yes.
Now, this is out of an appearance or a speech that somebody gave on the floor of the Wall Street.
Yeah, Chicago trading floor. It was Rick Santelli. There were millions and millions of activists. I'd been a lifelong Republican. Under the Bush administration, I was upset about his big government programs, No Child Left Behind, the Prescription Drug Act, and it was just a lot of big government. The Wall Street bailout was something that really pushed people over the edge. The Tea Party actually began, the teapot started boiling under the Bush administration, George W. Bush administration. And people were fed up. We did not know what to do. You had the Wall Street bailout, and you had a lot of the conservative groups that are speaking out against Trump now actually supported the Wall Street bailout. And things just escalated when President Obama took office. So we were like, okay, we felt like we did not have a party. So we were, wondering what should we do, what can we do. And then the news spread about Rick Santelli's rant on the Chicago trading floor, which, by the way, the Chinese are buying now, the Chicago trading, the Chicago system. And, it began from there. We had a call that was organized by top conservatives on Twitter. There were 22 people on that call. And it started from there. We never would have believed it would have had taken off like it did.
Well, it did, and then you've had some darlings of the movement come out of that. Marco Rubio was a Tea Party candidate. Ted Cruz was a Tea Party candidate at one point, as well as Sarah Palin. She was a Tea Party favorite. Now, why is it now? I mean, let's face it. If we're not the Tea Party, basically, we would not have Senator Marco Rubio or Senator Ted Cruz. But the Tea Party doesn't seem to be in their corner in the presidential race. What happened to them?
Well, Marco Rubio is just what I talked about. I mean, I know a lot of promises. And we went to Washington, D.C., and driving the places in the country in a good way. He supported the Canadian immigration bill. And that, totally sours people party activists and conservatives with Ted Cruz. Senator Cruz is, he also a strong conservative. And he was, the Tea Party activists are divided between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. And then I hear a lot of the national media refers to Ted Cruz as, this is the Tea Party presidential candidate. That is not true. Because I can tell you, the Tea Party support is divided between Mr. Trump and Mr. Cruz. And with Ted Cruz, people look at the defining moment for me with Ted Cruz was when he supported Obama's trade. When he wrote an op-ed with Paul Ryan in support of Obama's trade. That let me know, Ted Cruz is one of the people that will pay attention to his donors. And, as far as his implementing policy, and he did it on Obama's trade. He particularly he said his Senator Jeff Sessions was wrong on Obama's trade. And then added that he knew what it was too late to do anything about it. After Senator Cruz passed the QB, he all of a sudden said, I'm going to oppose it. It was too late. And his opposition did not mean one thing. So I think a lot of people started taking a look at Senator Cruz for that. The audit of the Fed legislation, when it came up, he was not even there to vote on it. And he was one of the authors of the legislation. So there were a lot of little red flags that were raised as far as Senator Cruz. And a lot of it was his super PAC. I mean, he has a Wall Street, somebody a hedge fund manager, right when his super PAC is a check for $11 million. People don't do that without strings attached. was it.
Well, we do know that strangers are often attached to pack money, at least as you know, and that pack money often means demise of their candidates. As Mark Rubio quickly found out. And you know, I know that there are some people out there that still like Rubio, but you know, he shot himself in the foot. Personally, it's Rubio shot himself in the foot. What we have now is basically two-man race with the lead anchor on it, and I see the lead anchor. I mean, John Kasich out of Ohio. He's sort of dragging it from Trump and Cruz down a little bit. They're trying to hold the back. But really, it's a two-man race between Cruz and Trump. And you said that the Tea Party people, and the Tea Party is not really a party as it was as a loose movement around the country. And now, do you think that the division is equal between support?
I think it is. I can continue to keep on being my citizens as a pack in order to super pack in order to crazy. But I know a lot of the even the state coordinators within the non-profit, which is people are being patriots. Incorporated, we were 501.64. They publicly endorse Donald Trump, and a lot of the polling numbers I would look at it with religion or religion showed that it was more or less equally divided. Now, CNN a few weeks ago, 10 days ago, released a national poll that showed that 56% of people on these supporters were going to Donald Trump. But I really believe that a lot of that is divided after. But I hadn't noticed after what happened in Chicago with the protests, I was personally contacted by a lot of Cruz people telling me switching to Donald Trump. They felt like the Cruz's reactions to the violence and Mr. Trump's Chicago rallies, that Cruz sided with the protesters. They were upset about it. So I think at this point, I would say it is sure that Donald Trump probably has a higher percentage of people parties of support now. And the Senate are crazy stuff.
Who would you like to... I don't know if there's a consensus among the Tea Party rank and file who they would like to see as vice president. There's a lot of people still saying that Ted Cruz may make an awesome VP for Trump. But these two guys are going at it so bad with each other. I don't think they can come out as friends.
Well, I mean, you have to look at that shit. I mean, honestly, the Tea Party will come together. And support the candidate that supported the nominee as long as as a nominee that has received the nominee that's way ahead of the delegate count. I mean, if the establishment comes in and they put it in John Hayes or forget about the election and the general election. But I don't think activists will come together. I think that we always had a very nasty campaign. I mean, the campaign between Ronald Reagan and George Bush in 1980 was horrible. I actually remember George Bush was referred to Reagan as George Herbert Bush. The first president Bush was referred to Reagan as economic plan in the economics. And I remember in New Hampshire debate, when they were debating in New Hampshire, that when we needed the moderator tried to pick up the microphone from Reagan and did not want him to finish speaking. But he did it anyway. He said, hey, I'll pay for this microphone. I will. And then she tried to send it. That was a very nasty campaign. Yeah, Bush was Reagan running mate, and they were working together very well. I can remember if you go back reading history books. Now I was in school, and then even very recent history, recent stories about the very nasty campaign between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson in 1800. I mean, I think terms like half-breeds, law. Adams said that Jefferson were related to the president, that women have to be violated, the children would be rotted in the pike. So this is all the basis of it. This is 1800s. I think would be good. I think that Mr. Sutherland can do this. I would really like to see Ted Cruz be Anthony Scalia replacement and Scalia's replacement on the Supreme Court. I mean, I think that would be very good for that actually happen in America. Would be the replacement on the Supreme Court.
I have that has been mentioned on this program before that Ted Cruz is probably better off being a Supreme Court justice than the president of the United States. But of course, I received some nasty feedback from Cruz's supporters on that. I thought it was a compliment, actually. They didn't take it as a compliment. But what happens is everybody's talking about this leading up to the convention in a couple of months. The Republican convention, and it looks like it's really going to be kind of contentious. And you have some insiders, some news people, and some Republicans saying that it's going to be contested, and then we're going to end up possibly with a nominee that isn't in the running right now. But would the Tea Party be excited if they didn't give it to Trump, but if they gave it to somebody like Paul Ryan? Is he thinking to keep... You would absolutely be wrong again. Okay? Yeah, right now, Donald Trump is going, he's beforehand and beforehand and he's on the same trajectory. Then you will see that I take that if you try to cheat Donald Trump out of the delegates, then you will see a division, you will see protests, everyone will go over well. And if something happens, Donald Trump implies which I don't think it happened in his career because it's a convention. Like way ahead and delegate and somebody don't give it to him. You would see the same thing. The electorate is not in the mood to play around with the Republicans establishment. And one of the things you see years is I noticed the Republican establishment when they don't have a candidate that is conservatives really like. They use scare tactics to get conservatives to candidate in the general election. Now, also say, well, if you don't know for him, well, you're going to have, this candidate, look at all these policies that are going to take place. I think conservatives generally have following in line and support the candidate. But that did not happen with John McCain. It did not happen with Mitt Romney. But this time, if the establishment tries to put it in and tries to steal the nomination away from the front, I think you will see all of a sudden Republican establishment will be much more hated than Hillary Clinton will be. And it will be the end of the Republican Party. Something is disturbing that is going on in Georgia and other states with the delegates election process. This is the national convention. The Cruz campaign is actively trying to push Cruz supporters to be the delegates to represent Trump at the Republican National Convention. And that's wrong, too. I mean, if Donald Trump wants to consideration of the district, then the delegates that represent that congressional district should be Trump's supporters. But the Cruz campaign is trying to come up with a way in case of the convention that Donald Trump's supporters, they're supposed to be Donald Trump delegates, that actually the vote for Cruz is a little background. So that's something that we're fighting here in Georgia, and that's something that I know is going on in other states. So that's something that I saw one of my writers because he's still working for Mr. Trump, pointing out, hey, we better pay attention to this. There are trying to. There's some shenanigans in there. How can people reach you, Debbie?
That can on my Facebook. That can also email me at energyfreedomusa.org or on Twitter at Crimson Tiger. Yes, I'm a big yellow M. At Crimson, that's CORIM. SONTID at Crimson Tiger on Twitter.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
You guys are wonderful. You guys are absolutely wonderful. And I know I'm on to TV on your show. But I would advise everyone to really stay tuned. It's about to be really fun now.
That definitely is. Thank you very much, Debbie Dooley, co-founder of the Tea Party. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
We'll be right back, folks. You're listening to me, the Global Host here on the Rod Eccles Show.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can find a little gig of Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Men allows you to save up to $500 of Viagra. What they do is purchase prices of $15 per pill or more. When you can get Viagra for less than $3 per pill. Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $89. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford Viagra. Call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 to bill for prices in. Get Viagra for less than $3 a bill. Call 800-555-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Females is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 555-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-555-2614. That's 800-555-2614. Again, 800-555-2614.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
Yes, it's not the way to look at things that don't seem right.
The worries is just been released on iTunes and
it's gonna be alright.
You can find Friends Black and his music on his website, friendsblack.com. FRANC Black.com.
Be alright.
Since the Thursday night, you're grabbing your drink with some friends. Start off with the picture of Vincent St. April, which quickly becomes to there's and there's photos. I'll naturally buy my order my wings. And then there's the ceremony in the night.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which if you're buzzed. Could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, illegal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills the buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought you to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and Council.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if you're right now listed who's in the new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can get this done for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. Remember, General Steel only builds large projects so that you can afford General Steel quality. Check these prices. How about a 4 by 6 foot building for under $22,000? Even if it's $100 for under $35,000. That's right, 5,000 square foot building under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. So you can still order a building and have it delivered sometime build this year. How's that for right now? So if you're right now listed who's in the new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel.
800-399-3576. 800-399-3576. 800-399-3576. That's 800-399-3576.
Water hero broke down last month. It was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up. They charged us a couple $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put it in the water heater. And by the time it was all said and done, I felt like a baby again. What else should I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranty pays for repair or replace all your major appliances when they break. And they will break at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your seating fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save 50% on Washington Fire coverage. Just call 1-800-616-8010. That's 1-800-616-8010. Again, 1-800-616-8010. Call now.
Serial 3-8-3-5-5-3-2-2-2-4. This is number call you join me here on the Rod Eccles Show. You're local host. By the way, I guess the first hunk of the last Todd Palin, that is what Sarah Palin once referred to her husband Todd as being the first hunk, since he was not for mixed man, he was governor, so I call her first gentleman, I guess that's the thing. She called him her first hunk. And I did a lot of ladies that found Todd Palin to be rather hunky. Whatever hunky is for American women, that was Todd Palin. Last I knew, there was still not much change in his condition after his snowmobile or snow machine accident. There's still a lot of questions surrounding his accident, exactly what happened. What was he doing in order to cause such extensive life-threatening injuries that he got? I don't know the whole story right there. I think there are very few people that do. Like first continue to go to the Palin family in this very trying. I guess he has had numerous broken bones and such, if you will. But he did have a couple of surgeries, repairs, some things. But we will see what's going on out there shortly. If we will. But let's see if we can bring some calls in right now. Let's get this one right here. Well, I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Let's see if maybe we can get him off. It's 7-3-2-1. You need to live on the Rod Eccles Show. You're there.
Oh, hey, Rod. Good morning.
Good morning.
I love Debbie Dooley, what she had to say, and actually, I'm a PT for all you take treatment myself, and I'm part of the movement, and I did want to say that Ted Cruz and his latest scandal is I don't know if you saw on Twitter where this man in the Carpenter tweeting about one of the list of the Trump supporters, and it's insinuating that there'd be consequences for us. And I don't think that, what's the biggest thing you're trying to do? The consequences you think to the IRS. Well, I said to her, you're not those are my children, and I did hear you. But I think it's interesting that she's part of that. And now, with that being said, can you imagine had Trump, if this had been reversed, that Trump had this type of scandal. I mean, he had his own little stuff, he did it and stuff. If you imagine the media Ted Cruz was saying, he was talking about moral character and devotion was religion and core values, and like he preaches every day. He called Donald Trump about him in about 5 seconds. But it seems like the media is wrong opposite. Today it was real short headlines just showing Cruz just, blaspheming Trump. And so I think he's got to, I'm not so, the national choir, it could be better. I will be proud of the words of John Edwards to tell him, I want to, check this, there's, a flame here, use fire, so, but anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I agree with Betty totally, that it was about to be a lot of fun, and it's, we got some time ahead, and also she was talking about the problem with Ted Cruz. It started when he did not denounce the Black Lives Matter protesters in Chicago. It started a problem for him, and I saw his Twitter followers were so down for racist when that happened. So he can't even deny that. And he's digging himself into a hole. And I do agree with the Supreme Court justice. I mean, I've been saying that yet to go. I mean, but they got something together. I'm not saying. What do you think? The whole black, it's kind of tough. This is he was in a tough position in the Black Lives Matter. Obviously, they frame the black lives framed as such that if you, which is why I took my mouth finally and said that what I'm going to reverse this. And basically, the way they have to frame it is if you say anything about Black Lives Matter, you are a racist. I'm a black guy. So I basically just recently I just reframed the whole thing very strong. We put it out all over the place out there. I've got some pretty heavy, negative responses most of the negative responses I've gotten to this particular point. I say that unless you say all lives matter, you're a racist. No, it's all lives matter. Not blue lives, not black lives, not this life, red lives, it's all lives matter. All human lives are precious. And I got that, especially on Google Plus, I got hammered with that. But here's the issue. It's coming from a bunch of white people. I got very few black people. Yes, I found it very interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, that goes to show you, and it's not mean that Cruz should kind of outline my life, but I think every single one of the Republican candidates should have reframed the justice as I did, and said that yeah, I get it, but I mean, it's strong, but now Cruz himself, I mean, I can see that they don't even want to take Cruz, and they want me on their ticket. They don't. So we all know that. But I mean, they're framing him. So he's taken to the bite. They take him to the bite. I mean, he's definitely falling forward. And I feel like I'm not really busy now. Watch the back. Watch the back because they're not just for him. He's close because he is. And it is because they planning on taking Trump. They have less than an idea that they would go ahead and give it to Cruz just because, they could be all right with that. And, but anyway, they're rolling under the bus, I think. And I like to say I follow what can. They made a statement about, Trump's nomination could trans position, the GOP, it's different from new, exciting, robust party. Yes, he could. Yes, he could. And we see that exciting, but man, people talk about what we made on holy cow. But it's going to be a tornado and we get further down. So I agree 100% with you that there's more on the society. I mean, and the media, that's the media. I'm not good at that. I mean, they just going to God to us and. But
there's a lot of people saying that's been done there that they've given all this press to Donald Trump. Okay, you know what? Look, you gotta give it to Cruz being second place after all of this, and then recently he's got very little media coverage. He's not allowed to spend like
oh my God, we need to be in the ground. I mean, they would have had special report. You know, it would have been like the bomb. I mean, you know, we would have been the same thing. I mean, maybe we would have just stopped and stop. But this is something I can explain a few things. And I, you know, but I just, you know, somebody said on Twitter, we have had a good Friday, but it takes Cruz and not having such a good Friday. But, you know, I think, you know, we're really all these have to march forward and go to the next stage. And I saw where I'm really like conscious in the work with the brand. I'm doing everything I can. So.
Well, also, Scott Walker out there, not just praising Trump at the moment. So, we will have to see about it. He's not praising me, but you can't make chicken. That's all that's what you can do. You know what I mean? So you got to. He's going to have a little bit of a problem with the city of his family, which you know, it's kind of some of the hard. So, we'll see. I think Scott Walker's smart enough man. And I really like Scott Walker. And we'll see. I mean, you know, we'll see where we go. So I think it can be the day he's going to talk all around to the he might, but he's out there predicting. Scott Walker, Governor Wisconsin, is out there predicting that the GOP convention is going to produce some nominee and somebody not currently running. So, I mean, he's going to have. There's going to be. People talk about all hell goes on correctly with it. That is not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, he doesn't think it's obviously he's Walker that getting this. I kind of agree with them because I'm just looking at everybody talking about Ryan constantly. Ryan didn't do the same thing people pulled about before he locked people going to be the speaker. I don't want to do it. Take away my family. I watch House of Cards, people. I watch it. This is convention. Republican convention is lining everything that's happening. What happened in House of Cards? Remember, House of Cards was written and filmed almost a year ago before it ran in the air earlier. So none of this stuff was anybody's eye. So it's kind of, so it's kind of interesting that's how this is all turning out. It's like a TV movie. Or a TV show. It's the same thing. I think it's real bad. We're saying it's not going to be Ryan. We're saying people are saying, Ryan's not interested. But that's exactly how they made it look like. And then compare the DPP. Absolutely. They knew what they were doing, and they know what they're doing now. But I'm telling you, that was before we had you. So let's somebody was telling the truth.
And you know what? We have woken up, folks. You're out of the home, and if they're going into work, they can sell that, and then they can sell it. But this, you know what? It isn't happening. And it is. I mean, I really don't believe that there. That convention, and you know what? There's many more voices in my mind. And I'm here to see we will be there, and we're going to see what kind of visitors that they have, because I mean, there's going to be big problem. I don't think I think they fall big, and I think they want to come back to it. It's going to be interesting, you know. And this is the thing about I want to send the delegate representative Trump, and then bullcrap. He is. This is the guy that he can charge. I won't say, but it didn't work. It didn't work. You know, and it's like we want, you know, the recruitment. I might like to. I have a line of those in the bus. I couldn't stay in the ball of the other. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to fight to the end to Donald Trump. Is the one. I mean, you know what you said? I had a very ex-wife on the video. You know, I mean, your ex-wife said good things about you. You know, you're okay. You're not, you know, I didn't do too much. And that's just how I feel about it. No, right, he was able to get that. He was able to go home that night and there's no point in it. No place to have it.
All right. As usual, wonderful call. Thank you, my dear. You are lovely.
Well, thank you. It's happy for your union, and you know what? Resurrection is the reason that we're living, and he gave us this. I mean, he gave this almost something until we need to have a fraternity, and I believe that he is responsible for what's going on. I have to say that. So, anyway, you have one wonderful weekend, and I will see you.
You too. Thank you very much. As I always say, Jesus is the reason for the seasons, and the season is for 365 days a year. So, yeah. Bye-bye. Folks, do not value on this all-right thing, because it's turning out to be the same thing. It's not just because of how it's hard. Well, I've often said that life imitates art, art imitates life quite often. And it's amazing how it's just so. You would think that somebody actually just recently wrote the script for how it's hard. That's how accurate it has been. So far, it hasn't been about the Democrats. It's been about the Republicans, which was just really kind of strange. Because Frank Underwood and all House Party is a Democrat. Frank Underwood was whipped. Whipped, by the way. Basically, the second in charge of well, he's the leader of the Democrats at that point in time, because he's pretty much second in charge, because I guess if you're Republicans can control the Senate, and especially the areas of the speakership, he was a whip. Look, that's pretty close to being the equivalent of the speaker of the House, the leadership, the House leadership, and then you have Ryan out there being touted as possibly, I don't know, people are not very excited about that plausibility, but I'm telling you, be prepared for such a thing, because that's something that could happen. And don't, if that happens, folks, don't be mad at me, because I'm the one that warned you and told you so. Just so you know. Just so you know. By the way, to finish up the story from last hour, this is from People Magazine, people.com. This was why Steve, check your stash. See if you have any old VHS tapes, maybe even some DVDs. You remember from the video story, the story is no longer around. And then the North Carolina has been arrested for allegedly failing to return a VHS tape rented back in 2001. On Tuesday, James Myers, 37, was pulled over by police. He was taking his daughter to school. According to court documents, officers were trained to fight an active warrant had been issued for his arrest. After dropping off his daughter, Myers returned himself to the police and was booked with a civil charge of failure to return rented property. Evidently, in late 2001, Myers allegedly rented a copy of the universally panned Tom Green film Freddy Got Fingered. I remember the title. And again, it was like that, and then the Superman, the previews looked like it sucked. But anyway. It was released. The movie about struggling cartoons was forced to move back into the parents has attained cult film status. But Myers is scheduled to appear in court on April 27th to answer to the charge and to make a possible $200 fine if convicted. The warrant was issued years ago. I don't say how long ago, but they say years ago. So the police said and remained active even after the rental store shuttered its doors. Now, Green is a stand-up Tom Green is a stand-up comedian on tour of Australia. Learned of Myers' arrest. Took to Twitter to say that he was struggling to believe that as I gotta say. I have to come to how do you arrest somebody for a crime where there's no victim anymore? It's a victimless crime. Now, in a video posted on YouTube, Myers says he can't believe he was arrested for allegedly not returning a video to a defunct business and expressed his opinion that he believes that better things to do with the time. Indeed, how do you... If victims was fine, you can't return it. Who does the fine go to before? Who's going to... Because part of this whole thing is supposed to be about justice to somebody, but... The companies that they allegedly rented it from is no longer around. And I've seen stuff like this before, and it's really not about seriously, really not about justice. If you don't return the video, which is, I'm trying to figure this out. This is 2001, folks. It's like 1988. If you don't return the video, what did they charge your car for the full value replacement value of the video? In 2001, was it like $25? How was he seen in the crime? You get charged for the full, if you don't return it, if you're like 5 days later or something, video companies would charge the full, they charge you the late fees, which would be about $20 or $30, and then they charge you on top of that. The replacement value of the DVD, if you have about buying the DVD, it'll be like $25 or $30. I don't... To come up with a $200 fine and arrest this guy is like absolutely ludicrous. So, if you have an unreturned or unpaid for video or DVD, I would suggest that you return it to the establishment post-haste. And if the establishment is no longer there in business, your next best step would be to go to the police department and turn in them saying, you're cleaning out your garage, you came across this, and you realize that it probably belongs to the video store, you don't know if you paid for it or not, you're turning over to them because you can't find any owners of the video company anymore because it's out of business. It's good for the police to return it and involves all of you in a crime. Just make them in. I'm not, folks. That's how far we come in this country. Really. We'll be back.
The box of Bake Club is a brand new come for every free fish. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let us get away. The box of Bake Club is currently accepting a limited number of free orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbakeclub.com.
I'm so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. Let's just come to that second thing, did you?
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak with his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need him most. Please don't donate today at redcross.org.
Our water heater broke down last month. It was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and she charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And it cost another $1,800 just to put in a new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. What else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranty pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break at the worst possible time. American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranty starting today. Don't wait your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask you can save 50% on Washington coverage. Just call 1-800-661-6810. That's 1-800-661-6810. Again, 1-800-661-6810. Call now.
Attention business owners. We have no business getting things done right now. So if you're right now listening to the new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can do this by building your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel all your bills for large projects so that you can't afford General Steel quality. Check these prices. How about we raise by $63,000 or we even $135,000? That's right, $5,000 square foot building for $135,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Accessible, you can still order a building and have to deliver it on time to build this year. How's that right now? So if you're right now, listen to the new building. Call the Right Now Company. General Steel.
800-399-385-755-6. Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Health Me allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. emergency prices of $50 or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 per pill? They can get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost just $600 at your local pharmacy. You can get it for not call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 per pill for pharmacy prices and get Viagra for less than $3 per pill. Call 800-599-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy finance is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 599-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-599-2614. That's 800-599-2614. Again, 800-599-2614.
Man, I had a rough night's sleep. I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I didn't go to sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me. IRS problems that more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life, you need more than $10,000. You need to call the tax doctor. They're expert staff and immediate protect you from the IRS and give you the best possible tax guarantee. The IRS has recently released a program that can help struggling taxpayers. You may qualify for 7 tax credit and $1,000 about 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. 800-989-1694. Again, 800-989-1694.
I'm about out of the builders. There's a saying, Americans live in and women live by. Never really be for all the more behind. Ever. Off the battle of the we project operators for the single goal. We leave no war behind. War project is a non-profit organization created to help armed men and women returning home. It was described as war. What those described as physical and mental. They make sure that they heal. And there's something who's from traumatic stress disorder, living a normal life again. But living in achievements is for orientations of warriors and veterans from hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than men and women who serve their lives to keep us safe. We will warrior for project. And never really fall on the warrior behind. Ever. No more about what we would do. And we will warrior for project. Our number 3, the fastest radio on the Rod Eccles Show. Glad that you are all still with me here on this Friday morning. It's kind of raining here in New Hampshire as we continue on with Freedom Friday. Call number 603-835-3224. As we continue to broadcast from the Butler Rise Home Studio. Well, hey, be here next week. Definitely, because it's got a major announcement for y'all. And you know, it's a good thing. Broadcast is really, and I don't mean that sound like our artists are super, but it's a really good thing. And you're going to want to be here for that, not say something about that. But also, we have I'm not even going to get into that part. I know some people no, I don't know. I'm not saying anything I want to do. But I will say that today is Good Friday, and some people don't understand how that can be good. But it is Good Friday, and this weekend and this Sunday is Resurrection Sunday, aka Easter. And then, of course, we have Easter on Monday. I don't know how that came about, but traditionally, not just traditionally, but the reason for this particular holiday is all about the resurrection of Christ. Defeated death. And some they say, well, God created the whole thing, so God created death. How can you defeat something you can create? But it was really a symbol like a gesture for those of us who believe in Christ. That we should not perish, not from this earth, but from the universe of God. And then we should never, have everlasting life. I don't know. There are any stories in the Bible or anywhere else to show that God totally eliminates something that He created. Even Lucifer, morning star, he cast him, he just ended him. So those people will say that, how come God he's not a moment or so. Yeah, he is. He could have just ended Lucifer. No, it's not existence.
But instead, just like you do with your kids, you punish them instead. Most good parents are decent parents, at least. Even most bad parents. They don't end in the children. They don't kill them. You just punish them. It doesn't matter how bad, sometimes the law body takes into account on punishment. But most parents, it doesn't matter how bad your child is, it's just punish them. They don't kill them. So this is the same thing for God. You just, whatever reason, you just won't. And us, you just punish them. This is one way that we can be, every kid can be forgiven. Right? They can be forgiven. For their misdeeds, and us is just God's way of allowing us to be forgiven by Him. This is through the blood of our Christ. That recognition of His only begotten Son Jesus, and that is what we're celebrating. So speaking in the you are a Christian. Do you want more to celebrate Easter? I don't know. I don't really care. That'll be the young one back to tell us that one. But anyway, happy weekend, happy Easter weekend coming up. Let's go to the phones real quick. 336 you're live on the Rod Eccles Show. What you got?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to talk about a few things this morning. It's really on fire off of Twitter. A lot of people.
By the way, before you get into, do you have any old VHS or DVDs that you have not returned to the video store?
I remember playing for the back in the day. We always have something that we're real concerned about the guy that has probably suspended about it now, but we won't we have to live with first we're almost in the streets, and then we're not worried about taking criminals, real criminals, and I think that's pretty difficult. I want to talk about something that's just really left Twitter the past few days, and that's just Cruz possible sex scandal that everybody talks about. And I think Cruz was going to make statements about it. I'm not saying that these things are true, but I'm saying that's what's going on right now. That's what's being talked about. And we also talk about the fact on your show, and it's not a fact that this is happening yet. It's for I can tell you, but it is the fact that we need to know how to address it. And then it's just I'm hearing all kinds of things and simply about that thing that and there's nothing to it. But I mean, would that not mean these guys actually giving credibility or like something that shouldn't even be being discussed? It's broken in the National Enquirer. Now, granted, I don't know what 50 years history of the National Enquirer there that actually been accurately written on track, maybe 4 or 5 times the story. Do you think this is one of those rare occasions we get it right? Well, I look at it this way. They nailed Don, and they nailed very hard. They nailed Tiger Woods, and they nailed Bill Cosby. And how do you compare anything now? You see when you look at the National Enquirer or whatever, you know, the grocery store, but then when they start digging even to find that things that they may be true. I'll put it this way, like, I trust the Enquirer as much as I trust in the New York Times. So, even if it's not true, somebody from the Cruise campaign needs to come out and address it because it's later, it's just going to start melting away against voters. I mean, this does look like it's extremely serious, and then since you pointed out, it seems like the National Enquirer does get the sex scandals, right? So this is probably not bode well for the Cruz family at this moment. Now, I have not taken the time to really read into this because, like you said, this is also something that's starting to blow up on social media, Twitter, like Facebook, this thing. And I just look at it since it's a National Enquirer. I'm going to wait for there to be more credible
sources come about, but it looks like they broke all of those sexual scandals wide open before the mainstream media, the wrestling mainstream media did. Who's been followed suit and found out that all the credible and truthful. Maybe this is another one. So it is possible that you're right that the cruisers need to get out ahead of this thing.
I didn't call it into society. These are all facts. What I'm talking about for this one not is to say that it just makes speaking about all there and this is something that makes you speak about and I really get that it will say like if you have everybody I just need to start out on the call. She said that the of us are seen so we give it our seen and then everybody sees things throughout their life. But if it's just true, if it's just true that you think it's a video address, try to way but I listen to these about possibly cruise and I know these people don't like cruise, so that's not like it. Like cruise is maybe also from being core. Well, when the campaign was going on now. And the problems was going on with the letters, getting these letters, and the fact that if car Carson was getting car Carson was getting out of the way. Well, just stuff like that a little bit matters. I don't remember if there was a CD again in that manner. And if the letter can get the CD was like that, then I don't think they should be recorded in the studio. And I just want to see the contributors from whoever or whatever. I just think because they make me talk about this. Well, I was talking to this morning. I was just like, I was amazed. I'm thinking this is really blowing up. I mean, it's just some passing a little odd. It's really blowing up. People really did follow up in it. And then, we all those over the that's my was going on and that's also like about how long I was if you remember back when running and running was debating about so the debating back. But what I remember from that campaign was Ryan getting in this and about and they just speaks volumes. I mean, you got to be more than just the paper. You have some action in there, like ads. And for the things like that, to take the Delta and say that was something Eddie was talking about cruise Delta gets going in for I just about our you for trying to get from Delta gets to 3 big with cruise and to me that's really the way to get on me. I don't know what to go through this season of all these other and then things all over. And I know for a fact it's something like that and has it does a with it. I don't know what rules for places it's not on. And I hope that don't happen. And I guess we have to what it is to see and when the delegates are okay and the delegates are for primary respect it is really not going to be it's going to be it they'll have to result of the small market that has
well you have a growing number of people that are seem to be getting in the corner of the public eye speaker of the house. When I say public eye, I've heard Paul Ryan and things described as these beautiful public guys. And then women like that kind of advice, I guess. I don't know about that. And then I guess, but also women, female voters, there's the female vote. Guys are no different. They also vote for looks too. So don't get on me about things superficial. But let's face it. One, Paul Ryan is a decent looking guy. He still has a full head of hair. Most of it's not great. That's important. When was the last time we had the bald president? We have not had the bald president in over a century. This is factual. One of the things that people always talk about Paul Ryan is that he seems sincere. And one of the things that people talk about Ted Cruz is that he doesn't seem sincere. So you have a number of people who are elected officials in Washington who are keeping hope alive, as it were, for Paul Ryan. Representative Tom Cole is also jumping on the Paul Ryan bandwagon, as has been the nominee in case of a contested convention in Cleveland. And I'm just telling people that this guy, even though he says he doesn't want, he's lining himself up for this. So there is already stuff going on behind the scenes, as we're not yet seeing or yet privy of. That is lining things up, not just to steal this nomination from whoever the top delegate better it is, whether it be Trump or Cruz, to steal it away from either one of them. But to also make sure that either one of them on any ticket. You man as deep. Folks, don't doubt me on this stuff. Everything's in words. You're absolutely correct. What they're betting on is that the Republican membership, the ranking from 5 voters, is just going to go along with it, like they did with Romney. Like they did with McCain. Which country Reverend War was for 9 years? Well, there's a Soviet Union. Thank you. Okay, if we're going to get that out, then why not for 36 senators? I mean, if we're going to get the socialist communist route in our elections, why not get that for running? I mean, this is ridiculous. Any true American will not say anything into this. Would be, our soldiers have fought for decades now. For us to have this process that has taken place in the manner that's the war. Even though these candidates, despite these other every day, the voters are asking for the leader to say, and strong. We want our leader to put in place by our basics. And to me, voting with the exception of the marriage and having children, voting is the most important thing we can do. I mean, it's determined on our future, it's determined on our finances, it's determined on our protection, it's determined on everything in our life from our leadership. I'm so sick of these people that something, because they are because they have been in place for years, that they are entitled to these decisions. They have such a short lifespan, and it's for concern realistically if this is the course they take. If I'm a senator or if I'm a governor or whatever, say that at the end of the day, they can get those still that senator is going to be out, or that governor is going to be out in the next election cycle. And that's a fact. We do not forget it. We do not forget it. How we got here. And we were not going to forget it if we're dead and this process. And I think everybody feels that way are true. And I want to talk about something else this morning. And the past couple of weeks, I've seen some really true basics of this. I've forgotten some true basics on this radio station. And in New York, we're replacing the first like that. You're replacing these things. You're right. True basics. And people are coming on in the show that have a deep felt love of for free. And not just love and I love that. This show is starting something around as far as listeners. I can consider the growth in this show just from outside of her. And we thank God for you, and we thank God for the radio station. It's really coming for everybody. I really appreciate that. That I'm humbled by that. Seriously, whenever I hear stuff like that, I don't know what to say other than heartfelt thank you. And for the teachers, I would like to say that I pray to God this morning. I have a really good feeling that when the papers will be beaten to when the papers kick him on therapy with not Washington can let them bomb. And about a week ago, we learned that she is cancer for free.
and God has this blessing thing on us. Because of prayer, and because of miracle of modern society now, you talked about this before. We need to keep intentionally supporting our scientists. To see for cancer free today is making serious joy. And we go into this Sunday with God's faith, and I don't know about you, just related to something area, but I really also want to give back thanks and pray and my prayers that everybody in this world is suffering to cancer, and just believe in their miracles, and have faith, and just really need to really love the diseases, and that's my thought for the day.
Well, I'm with you. You're a great and I have no problem with espousing my Christian faith anywhere, whether on the air or in person. So I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. There's a lot of stuff going on, but through it all, we just pay attention. We can see the goodness and grace of God in just about everything.
Absolutely. That's right. And you have a wonderful day for sure, and thank you so much, and we got to listen to these show Rod, and your man, and keep up the good work, and you will.
I really thank you very much for that. Happy Easter to you as well. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. One thing you will never find me doing shrinking away from my own faith. It's who I am. I base my entire life around that kind of stuff. And does it make me perfect? No. Do I struggle with certain things? Yeah, like everybody else. But I do know that if I just try my hardest with every fiber in my being to go in the right direction, the Bible suggests, then eventually I'll get there, and I'll become more perfect. As a human being, I'll never get to perfect. That doesn't mean we can't, as human beings, we can't strive for perfection. And that just means you're constantly improving yourself. You're striving for that. And that's, can always improve. Which is why in the Olympics, I never did go for the giving anybody. And that's perfect. It can never be better. 9.9, sure, I'm not going to give them that. But 10, I would never give anybody a 10. Never. Nobody is perfect at anything. It can always be better. Look, you can look back on the very little they gave 10 mentions way back in the 7 early 80s. It's like 7 early 80s of the Olympics, and now look at the gymnasts and we realize, hey, the better than she was back then. Well, she got 10 mentions, she was perfect, so they may be more perfect than perfect. Like she can be more perfect. Can you be perfect? That word? Speaking of perfect, Breitbart is reporting that thousands are pledging to get arrested in D.C. protests next month. That is correct. The leaders of Democracy Spring, this is the first time I've heard of this thing, Democracy Spring. Okay. A coalition of far-left groups fighting massive civil disobedience movement to begin next month told Breitbart News that they have already confirmed there were 2,900 protesters who pledged specifically to risk arrest. So they're actually going to not to get their message across. You think this was your protesting for the people will get your message across, but you specifically plan on doing stuff that's going to get them arrested. Do you realize they're actually planning on doing stuff that's going to get them arrested? Now, I'm not talking about just peaceful protest or having a sit-in in front of a government building or something where they get arrested, but actually, publicly, I don't know, they're going to throw rocks or something. They're actually planning on getting arrested. I know, 3,000 people. Has pledged, just 3,000 people have pledged that they're going to go to Washington, D.C. next month. Specifically only to get arrested because they're going to put out there that they were protesting Donald Trump. Listen, No, that's only. No, it's the setting thing anybody else. It's you use it like maybe people blunt about this. It's one we're being told by both sides of the political aisle that Donald Trump is going to lose against social complaints. You shouldn't want him as your candidate. I'm like, if you're on the left, if you honestly believe that Donald Trump is going to get crushed in the general election like Hillary Clinton, then that's the person you should be rooting for. It's not. Just saying.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discount. Healthy female allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Buy the U.S. emergency prices of $50 per pill or more. When you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Come in and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost just $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $50 a bill. Pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a bill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy FMS is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are still waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
Yes, it's not always you look at the things that don't seem right.
No worries, just really just I do something and
it's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. FRANZ Black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing refreshments with some friends. Start about the picture of the table, which quickly becomes unsuccessful. There's cool. And there's the photo. Alright, everybody, we just follow that naturally by my order of names. And then another. And then there's the ceremony like that. So what are we doing with this weekend? And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're good buds, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buds driving could cost you around $10,000. Fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills about buses like getting pulled over for buses driving. Because buses driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Acton Council.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if you're right now listening to a new building, call the right now company. General Steel. We can give us a delivery for your business quickly. And they save you thousands of dollars. Thousands. Many think General Steel all buildings are projects or you can't afford General Steel quality. Check these prices. How about a 360 foot building for $120,000? Or even $135,000. That's right. House square foot building under 35,000. And these buildings also have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that right now? So if you're right now listening to a new building, call the right now company. General Steel.
800-339-385-756. 800-339-385-756. 800-339-385-756. That is 800-339-385-756.
When our water hero broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up. They charged us $600 just to come out. They cost us another $1,800 just to put in the new water heater. By the time I was all said and done, I felt like a bit again. What else could I do?
The smartest thing that you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranty paid repair or replace all your major appliances when they break. And they will break at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranty starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait. Your refrigerator to stop running. Your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. You can save 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-616-110. That's 1-800-616-110. Again, 1-800-616-110. Call now.
And we are back for the final segment here on the Rod Eccles Show. I, of course, am still your lovable host, the ever wonderful, ever wondrous Rod Eccles, as it were. Chelsea Clinton from the Weekly Standard.com. Got something about Chelsea Clinton here. I know Chelsea will be something. Chelsea Clinton. No. I'm not going to go there on Chelsea. Let's just say that Chelsea Clinton is out there, doing stuff for her mommy. Folks who realize that Chelsea's doing a little trouble, right? She's in her mid-30s. You people, I know it probably makes some people feel old. But yeah, she's well, she's early. I don't know how old she is. She's in her 30s. Or maybe early 30s. She's not like 36. Maybe she's 33 or 34 or something around there. That's where we're all in her age. Well, her age is usually, her current age is really irrelevant. Because she's a mom. She's a mom herself now. So basically, Chelsea Clinton, she's not a millennial. I don't know. Millennials are 3 years younger, right? So she's over for 30, so she's not a millennial. Chelsea Clinton, she was a teenager when, for at least part of the time she was in the White House. Kind of like, the Sasha and Lee, right? By the way, for those of you who don't think those two girls are biological daughters of their parents, come on, look at them. They look exactly like their parents. So I mentioned that. And especially Lily, taking out her for both of her parents and height. She's just, she looks a lot like her mom, but has got the physique of her dad. She's just this long, skinny, gangly, lanky, teenager. And she just resembles both of her parents. It's just, I don't know why people say that Michelle doesn't carry her in the term. It's just, she's never been dead. But in any case, Chelsea is obviously speaking of Obama. Chelsea, Obama down there in South America, watching this, have you seen the tango thing that Obama did with the Venezuelans? President and first lady, basically, right? Anyway. I don't know who really dance, but this is tango dance. And it was, Obama was each dance with a different partner than each other. And a lot of people were focusing on Obama, Rock, in his dances. But you often just saw, if you're paying attention, you can also see the first lady and her partner dancing. But the focus really was on Rock. And I gotta tell you, all these people who are out there saying Rock is gay, well, that was not a gay man dancing with a woman. I'm just saying. I never bought into that notion anyway, but I wouldn't care if he was or is or what have you. And it really would make a good difference. It would make a good difference if Michelle was actually switch your training, which she's not, but it would make a difference. I don't care. It's about relevant. But what is relevant is he's down there and he's his little heart's content. Just having steamy dance, just having a great time. And I know a lot of people are really chastising him for that. And I'm going to tell you, I really don't have a problem with that. Look, the attack happened in Belgium. Brussels. That's not a city that is controlled by the perpetrators of security in the United States. What was Rod supposed to do? Run back to Washington and so you get off the phone and say how heartfelt he was and how sorry and the American people were all behind people. No. That is the most asinine thing I've ever heard of. I'm sorry, you people out there that are chastising his president. I'm not going to short his trip. I know it was a vacation of some sort, but for you to those who do chastising him just for that, you're wrong. The president is not the president of the United States is not supposed to feel so bad about everything that happens around the world. No matter where he is, he's supposed to run back to Washington D.C. and he puts his hands in his head and is just crying to stop. No, that's not what he's there to do. No, if you were chastising him about his trip to South America and Cuba in the first place based on what he was doing and saying, okay, I can agree with you on that. But don't come to me and tell me that, this assistance for he didn't touch the church because of the attack in Brussels. Come on, really? What president have we had as ever done that? We haven't. None of them. Carter didn't do anything like that. Reagan didn't do anything like that. Bush went, he went golfing once and got chastised. And went golfing once and bring his other shield. Now, there's a former shield. Come on. Clinton, Bill Boyd didn't get chastised and stuff when other stuff around the world happened that didn't really affect the United States. But they're right? Well, not really. I'm sorry. But it was the devastating attack. It was terrible. And as we've now learned, too many Americans lost their lives in the blast at the airport. But it's we're not the ones who allow those people into Belgium. We didn't. So what is he going to do about it? What is President Obama going to do about that? Absolutely nothing. He can do nothing about that. He can go after ISIS. I guess like he should be going after them harder. But let's face it. He still did not let them into the country. He still let them run Brussels and terrorists. So I'm just. I don't know if you were taking a trip when the terrorist attacks happened. I said it's the same thing. Yes, it's awful. It's terrible. But it's not our country. I don't see world leaders around the world who weren't in their respective nations' capitals, running back to their capitals and their corner offices when terrorists happened. But nobody seems to mind about that. What else is another? Are you chastising Obama simply because we went to Cuba in the first place? I think that's you were just chastising him. If you just were going to Cuba, regardless of what happened in Europe, I'd agree with you. But if you're going to use that as an excuse to when I'm asking for not going back to the DCC because of Belgium, then we're way off base. Way off base. Just saying. But I digress. I was getting into the Chelsea Clinton is out there for campaigning for more money. The issue, look, she's telling us exactly what good old Hillary wants to do and what Hillary really believes. Chelsea Clinton is saying Obamacare. she's hitting it hard. She's basically saying that Obamacare, as it currently is a huge failure. And she's not anything. She's pretty much saying that her mother is going, if her mother is elected president, that Hillary is going to fix Obamacare with executive orders. Right here, weeklystandards.com. There's a video showing Chelsea Clinton blasting the crushing cost of President Barack Obama's signature legislation of Obamacare. In the video, Chelsea Clinton tells the crowd that her mother Hillary is open to using executive action to reduce the crushing costs of fix Obamacare. There you have it. So she basically just said that what her mom was going to do. So if you like Hillary, we're going to have more Obama. Forgetting about Congress. Lincoln Congress. He's using Congress as power even more. It's just, it's the stroke of the pen and their phone. Hillary has a phone too. She doesn't seem to use it as much as Obama did, but she has the phone. She has the phone and then she uses it too. This was putting a cap on prices. This thing, harder by doing that. That didn't work then, and it's like I got work now. As a matter of fact, it's even more difficult to cap prices today. But you got countries that are still trying to do that. That doesn't work. Your economies are tanking. Basically, saying with the executive action would cap out pocket expenses. Okay, so where does the rest of the money come from? Now, understand, Chelsea says this was part of my mom's original plan, and it was known as Hillary Care back in 1993 and 1994. And I told you people over and over again that this Obamacare is nothing new. This is the same thing that the American people basically, told Clinton to go to blazes on. And that's not going back to blazes. By the way, can I ask why we went back, we're calling it blazes, everybody refers to blazes as pretty much hell, right? The hell goes to blazes. Oh, I think it means his whole publication should be blazes. These lighting things up, or, what is it? I'm not living, that's necessary. I'm not living. I have tattoos. I think tattoos, actually. But so I guess you need tattoos in order to sing like I'm not living. Just dumb. So guys, you want to say something like all these things are out there. They seem to all have hats. So I'm thinking you need to have hats before you can say something. Maybe that's. You never know. You could. You could get some hats and then well, Steve Perry had an alto voice. You need hats that we know of. Those of you who don't know, Steve Perry was the lead of the frontman of these two supergroup formerly known as Journey. And then they're still known as Journey, by the way. Yeah. And then I don't know. Do any of these, all these, is that a thing you used to utilize Obamacare? I don't think so. I don't think he needs to. I don't know. Maybe he can't, even with his money, maybe, according to the law, he can't do certain things if he wanted to. Anyway. I'm surprised that the millennial generation hasn't suggested that tattoos should be part of health care. I'm not. I'm really surprised that they haven't gone in that direction. Because look, tattoos are not cheap. You're price one of those things. I did buy one out. I thought I wanted one built. No, I saw some big burly muscular, almost guy getting one. He kept wincing and squirming and going, ooh, ow. And I think, hey, now you do big burly tough guy. I can't, so I was having troubles with that needle. I'm the more near as tough as he obviously is. So I ain't doing it. So I quickly, watching him quickly, you're bringing me it's going to get it was going to be like cross. I had to do. And sorry. I just don't know. I don't like any of them anyway. I'm not afraid of them. Just avoid them at all. Any possibility. 6 months he says, well, here we have a shot available and we have the pill. But the pill will take 3 times as long to work than the shot. I will gladly take the pills and walk out versus the needle. I really do not like needles. I've been put in profit all my life. I'm a military brat. So why I like them. You go overseas, you gotta go through a series of immunizations. For you people who are anti-immunization, I get some of the issues you have with some of the vaccines, but for crying out loud, my slice of living, we got stuck in immunized every time we went overseas. A lot. And we had to go through a series. This just wasn't going to go to the doctor once to shoot shots. You had to go like 3, 4, 5 times and get 2 or 3 shots at a time. And this took place over the course of weeks. So we had to go and get things shots. And look, we're normal. So I'm not gonna. I can't fall for all that stuff. It says you people say that all that stuff doesn't work because in fact, it does. And people are not being poisoned out there with most immunization shots of what have happened. So yeah. Don't fall for a second. That kind of stuff that you should not immunize if you get your child out at all from anything. There's some stuff. If you can ask, one of the things that people are talking about is possibly spreading out the immunization process. Because a lot of times they'll try to. They'll mix, a lot of immunization shots in one shot. Mix them together. Sometimes it's not a good idea. Or they'll have them too close together. What might be more beneficial is spreading some of them out. If they have certain ingredients in them, you might want to opt for, like alternative. If there is one that doesn't have that particular ingredient, if you're reverse some mercury, and 9% of people are, for good reason, you might want to opt for immunization shots that uses less than none. If there's an option available. That's what you need to do. You need to ask questions. And get the answers that you're looking for. That's all it is too. But you don't take yourself out of the equation altogether. You ask questions first. You never know what might be available to you. You never know. So you gotta try. By the way, scientists are at it again. Scientists are out there at it again. I don't know what makes someone want to do this, but Bloomberg Business is reporting. Scientists create the tiniest life form yet. But they're not sure what it is. Gene manipulation in industry is growing. So as it grows, the breakthrough reveals how little we know about the DNA. So we're creating stuff we don't even know what it is, we don't know what it does. We're creating it anyway. Hey, let's just see if we can do this. Can you say we're creating the naked apocalypse? Folks, we're already at the point where life, instead of art imitating life, we're at the point now where life is imitating art. And of course, I bring up, how cars in the GOP and that kind of thing. So Do we need to worry about the zombie apocalypse in their various forms? Like World War Z or The Walking Dead or even Will Smith's Legend. That was the zombie. That was a vampire. They turned human beings into vampires. That's pretty much what we were, right? They hid from us on like pretty much vampires. For years, there were reports saying that the DNA computer operating system services for each other. The DNA is the operating system software of living cells. And the same way that systems and software is the DNA of a computer. The problem with the comparison, as shown by research, 2 decades in making is how much biologists still don't know about DNA or genomes. That is especially problematic development in the industry around genetic manipulation all over the place, all over the world, not just in the USA. John Knox, my pioneer, a great inventor, and more than 20 colleagues engineered a living microbe with the genome system further than any seen in nature. In other words, they created a life form whose relative simplicity and modular design made it a platform that one day may easily be manipulated as easily as software. Setting aside fears of Blade Runner replicants running amok. Great. So we're going to jump back to the 80s or back in the 80s and create Blade Runner. If you ever saw the movie Blade Runner, the director's cut or the theatrical cut or the TV cut doesn't matter. One of those three. It makes a very bleak future. For mankind, not just the USA, but mankind. You don't go around messing with stuff. You don't know what it is. We got people out there. They found pregnant dinosaurs. I'm not being the off dead, but they found dead dinosaurs. Remains. The dinosaurs were pregnant at that time after their death, which is helping them fill in all kinds of DNA holes in their various dinosaurs. And what they're saying is this is going to allow them to come even closer to creating dinosaurs. Real life dinosaurs. And we don't. Let's see if we can get a real quick call here. I've got 850. You got a minute. What you got? Creating other species or whatnot. You have to realize that the man is taking and certainly himself, which it has to mean that it's not about God, it's and one of the social protections. We were 16 million babies in America. Women had is the soul of wit, and he did that beautifully. Gotta love stuff like I say brevity. I've heard that term for brevity is also wit. Well, obviously, I must not be that little wit because I'm not brief. Obviously, since I've had a 3-hour program, and I like to talk. But in any case, I did that one for that you so much. He's absolutely right. Hit the nail on the head. Could not have said it any better or any briefer. We're about trying to create this stuff, but the things that come to my mind are just throwing stuff that's already here, or trying to get here. So I don't know they'll come up with some sort of excuse as to why they need to pursue this type of stuff. But I'm telling you, if you don't know what you're doing, don't know what you're trying to create, then why are you doing it? If you're creating something you probably should be creating in the first place. You imagine a real facts. I'm sorry, but again, I'm looking at the movies here and saying, but what can go wrong will probably go wrong. And it will be a lot more devastating than what you see in the movies. If it does go wrong. Anyway. That's an of course means we're out of time for today, and not only for today, but for the entire week. Of course, this weekend is Easter weekend, and so enjoy yourself. Remember why Christ died on the cross for all of us, not just for Monday back. Until Monday, we'll be back again. This is Rod Eccles Show. Have a great weekend. I'm out of house.
Give me a fish. You feed him for a day.